So we're back, YouTube, on the Christian's Corner. And so I have some more talking to do about my mental health journey. And so again, this is not to bash anybody. This is not to bash my family. I believe that I can speak properly and I can tell my truth without harming anyone or being negative or disrespectful. And so I see a lot of Christian creators, they got the boxing gloves on, they want to fight. And so they get mad about people hating on them. And so in the Bible, when you start to speak truth and follow Christ, you're going to get a significant amount of haters. And so because of that, you have to realize that you can't put on your boxing gloves for every fight. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be too many. It's going to be too many. And so you have to let people's opinions of you and their thoughts and viewpoints kind of just go over your head, because you're doing a job and you're working for Christ. You're not working for them. You're working for Christ. And if Christ has come to tell you to do something, and that is your boss and your father, you kind of got to do it anyway. You know what I mean? And so people are not going to like you because they don't like your daddy, And so when you decide to follow Christ, you kind of have to have a tough skin. Because these people, when they figure out your weakness, they will eat you alive. And so you cannot let these thoughts and opinions enter into your spirit, enter into your vessel. You have to be a fortress. You have to have on a breastplate of truth. That's what Paul said. You have to have on your armor when you go to speak these messages of truth. Because if you don't, they will eat you alive. And so if we're trying to speak about Christ and, who he was, he didn't have no weapons. He didn't have on his boxing gloves. He wasn't arguing with these people. He just simply said, this is what it is, and this is what it's not. Now, you take that and run with it. But I'm going to tell you the truth, because that is what I believe the Father has told me to tell you. Now, if you don't want to hear the truth, just stay off of my page. But you're not going to make me act ugly because you're acting ugly. And so you don't have to respond to all the negative comments. You want to exemplify the love and the godly expression of Christ. Yes, people can be very mean. They can be evil, demonic, sick, all these things. But those are the people we're to touch to help them to follow Christ. So when demons present themselves to you, you cast that spirit out. You don't sit and argue and fight with demons. You don't sit and go blow for blow with someone who's sick. You show them the love of Christ and you cast those spirits out as you can or should be able to if you're following Christ. And so that's when you begin to see the Bible at work. And so a lot of people, which I've seen recently, are kind of just wanting to know, did Christ live? Did he really live? Is this a real person? And so I challenge you to see the world and view the Bible and see what the Bible said about the world. And that is what you'll see. That is how you know that Christ lived, right? And so when you begin to see people who start to doubt your walk and say this is not true and this is not true, when you begin to tie that Bible up to what's happening in real life, you know that he did. Now, some people's opinions are saying that Christ, it was a lot of Christ. And that could be true because he said that people who follow me can also do what I do. So we can say, because besides the 12 disciples, I think, now I'm not pretty sure, but I think he made another 70 disciples. So we are supposed to be multiplying. So a lot of people are saying, did Christ have kids? Did he have a lineage and all these things? And so we begin to see that they are focused on this one person, this one human vessel, when they're missing what he came here for. He came here to share his kingdom, share his power with whoever decided they wanted him. And whoever decided they wanted him can do just as he's done. So you cannot miss his message looking at a specific individual or looking at a specific body saying, okay, that's Christ, or no, she's Christ, or no, he's Christ. It's a whole individual group of people that make him up collectively. And that is who he is. And so when you begin to really see that it's not just a specific person, but it's a whole group of people that he has endued with power, you realize that I don't want to miss God because I'm looking for a white man or a black man or an orange man or a purple man. You know, I want to see God in his creation. I want to see God in his works. I want to see God in people's actions. Excuse me. And so when you look at God in that manner, you begin to see him in everything. You begin to see him in everything, in everyone, because it is not a specific one that's going to have all this much power. Because he even came, when he came, he distributed his power amongst different people, right? And so it's not just one person, you know? And so when you decide to really think about it in that aspect, you start to say, I want to follow Christ and I want to do it the way he said it should be done. And so that's why the New Testament is so important to me. Is because he's literally come in that age to teach us how to know him and how to follow him. He was like a teacher. Well, not like a teacher. He was a teacher. He was a teacher to take us back to the Father. He prayed to the Father. Everything goes back to the Father. He showed us how to get back to the Father. That's why he is the last Adam. Adam was the first person with the Father. He is the second Adam. He is showing us how to get back to the Father. He is showing us how to be righteous. We're not going to know how to be righteous in a sinful world that we were born in unless we have him to show us the way. And so that is it. So I do have another painting to show, and I tried to draw myself, but I'm still learning how to draw. So, you know, it's quite a journey, but I enjoy it. So I'm going to show it again. And so that is it for today. I will see you guys later on the Christian Corner.